All right. Thanks everybody who could make it over spring break. Kareem and I are working with some volunteers to see if we can't set up some open office hours so that as you guys are moving into building your apps and not just designing them, you have someone there throughout the week, a few hours a week where you can come in and debug with them and work on your code other than just our weekly check-ins or bi-weekly check-ins. So what I was thinking we would do today is go over what everyone's status is so that Kareem and I can make some notes and have that ready for our volunteers when we get those times set up. Up until this point, through the end of March, we were working on app design, and then that gives students 3 months to work on the app programming and MVP themselves. Then we'll have a regional competition around the end of June. Kareem and I are still working on a date for that, mostly because we need to make sure judges are available. And then based on their availability, we can provide multiple times within the same week or two and just fit students in based on what makes sense for their calendar.
Okay, perfect. Okay, nice. Yeah, that was the only question I had was about the timeline, but okay, that sounds good. Thanks, Nikki.
Yeah. So at this regional competition, everyone will get to present their idea and present what you've programmed so far. And then after that, we'll more intensely have the finalists work on their development up to August. And here this will be a little bit smaller class, and so we'll be able to work more intensely with your students. We'll probably have more office hours and things like that in this July and
August. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. When we talked about requirements, and you might have your requirements in a list like this, or you might describe them more broadly. But however you define them, break out what you need most, whether it is an integration or something you build yourself, and level those out for which month you want to work on them, or whether it's a nice to have. So if it is an integration that is really key to showing what your app can do, then you should think about that now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I brought in some of our old slides because I just want to refresh everyone's thinking. We've talked about design thinking if you're not sure what your app idea is, that empathize, define your idea, ideate, and prototype, and how you can talk to potential users and kind of use that to decide what your app idea should be if you're not sure. And then wireframing and or gathering your requirements, whichever one makes the most sense for you to do first, and then work on the other afterwards, and breaking out your requirements into releases so you know what you want to work on in which month. So with all of that in mind, I'd like to have each of you give us a little bit of a status update on where you're at. So just a refresh while I'm taking notes, your name, school year, and programming experience, and the app you want to build.